do this.
Let's do this thing. And we are live. Hello everybody, you know me, okay, no you don't, but you know who I am. I'm Issa J, and always to my right,
It's your Smarky Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion of picking things, Liam Landry.
yes. Well, we'll see what happens come next Sunday.
Had to keep it in a safe spot, you don't want handsy people to come around. And this time, we're actually not going to be with DJ. He's not just going to come late.
Yes, like he has been for time and time. He will not be here this week, but he will be here next week. And we'll talk about what's going to go down next week at the end of this week.
Definitely should be here.
Oh, yeah, if he's not, we do
here for WrestleMania at least.
If he's not here and we have to do the 10 hours by ourselves, we're suing his butt.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah, we'll tell you everything that's about to happen next week at the end of this show. But before we get started into our podcast, Shooting with the Smarky Family, episode 34. 34. We've done this. We've been doing this for more than 34 weeks. We just had a few weeks off every now and again. So we're at 34 episodes. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Pretty neat. Very special for us to do this.
And if we are able to keep going, get to that 50 episode mark, I think we're gonna have like a little mini celebration for us for sticking with it.
Yeah, I want to thank our internet service provider for giving us the ability to do this. WWE for putting a product for us to talk about.
Exactly.
Yeah. And our ability to speak. So our
teachers.
Yeah, our teachers.
Our parents.
I want to thank them. Yeah, parents. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are excited. So how was your week
the
this week?
The people in Asia who made this belt.
So how was your week this week, sir?
It was pretty good week, pretty fine. Mm-hmm. Had a rough morning this morning. Mm-hmm. Everything kept going wrong. Glass ball jaw breaking. I told you about that one. I had to clean that up outside. Then I think it was an unrelated piece of glass that got in my hand. That got me a cut. Because it was inside when we were cleaning, and it's like, yeah, but it's looking up now.
Yeah,
and for
well,
the future.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very rainy mess outside earlier, and now it's looking to be like a good enough day.
Yeah,
not wet anymore.
Cool
so
day,
cool.
But good enough.
Yeah, at least we're inside doing this and not outside. I feel like we should take a vote of never doing this outside ever again.
Yeah,
it has a better environment inside. And as you guys can see, we're in a new location, a new location. This is like the 7th location now. And in theory, we might be doing it here in this location more often.
Yes, that is true.
So that's going to be a lot of fun for everybody. And yeah, for me this week, it was a pretty great week, all things considered. I had a sucky first 3 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I had the morning shift at a place where not many people order pizza for lunch. So
yeah, order more pizza for lunch, people.
Yes, and tip your drivers. We go out of our way and to bring you your food so you can stay home. Tip your drivers.
Yeah, and just stop trying to pay them with sex. Okay, they need the money.
Yes, much rather.
I'm sure that happens to you all the time.
Not even a little bit. And then, but everything turned out okay. Santa Clarita Diet season 3 premiered Friday, so we got to start that. I've been watching the 100. Started season 3 of that, which is fun. But more importantly, I am now another year older, so that's a thing. And
yeah, you survived one more year.
Yes, another year. Heck yeah. And as you can see right here, it says, I kill you. I got to see Jeff Dunham live.
Oh, yeah.
And,
that was this week?
Yeah, it was Friday. So we got to watch the first episode of Santa Clarita Diet and season 3 and watch Jeff Dunham. And apparently Netflix has put all of Jeff Dunham's stuff except for the map special So from the first special to the Netflix special, minus all around the map, it's on Netflix. So we got to watch the Christmas special with the family. And when I watched, this is a funny story. When I watched the Christmas special the first time, it was on a DVD that had all the curse words muted. So I had no idea about the F-bombs going in. And when the first one went, my mom left the room and my dad just got so upset. I was like, oh, why does it have to be in there? Luckily, he fell asleep for the rest of the show, and I didn't have to deal with that, him talking about it. But that was awkward at first.
Yeah. So they just censored it out and they don't put beeps. I always hate when they put beeps.
Yeah, they just
I'm more upset
muted
by
it
the
on
beeps
DVD.
than the curse words themselves. That's more painful to the ears, if you ask me.
Yeah, just mute it, you know?
Yeah.
Because most of the time your brain knows the words, so you can pick up on what they're saying. But yeah, I got to watch the Christmas special, which was nice, and then see him live the very next day.
Yeah, hear all those dirty words, like whole. I always find it funny when the asshole was said. They just censor the whole part and not the ass.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
clearly shows you what's the worst part of that.
Yeah.
What else?
And then yesterday I was able to take a double and actually make some money. So thank you everybody who tipped yesterday. I doubt y'all are watching, but if somehow y'all are, thank you. I really appreciate it. All the drivers really appreciate it. You ready to get into it?
Yeah.
All right, it is time for the news outside of the WWE. It is our first category where we talk about the news not related to WWE. All right, which one did you want to start off with first?
Did you want to talk about the tragic passing that happened?
Yes, we have to talk about a death in the Impact Zone. Full disclosure, she's still alive and well, which is amazing. However, Impact has killed off Allie, the blonde bunny turned brunette daughter of Su Yung. Is now she has been.
That's the angle they were going with.
I don't think it was daughter, but it was something.
Minion of Su Yung.
Yeah, minion. That's better.
Yes.
She
was wearing like the overalls and like the goggles.
Something
like the minion, you know.
No, definitely not that.
I'm saying they film it in Universal. I'm sure they try to put him on there and make him do it.
Oh, don't ever let that happen, Impact, please. But she.
If you ever see Universal, you would see how much minion advertisements they have.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah.
They're trying to make Minion the next Mickey Mouse. Please, just no, kill that. Kill that now.
Mouse.
Ooh, no crossovers, Disney. Anyways, yeah, Su Yung was about to stab Rosemary, but Allie pushed her out of the way and took the whole claw into her throat, and she's now dead. So, obviously, this ties into what we talked about last week. Allie is now signed for AEW. So it's interesting that they went this route, the route of what do you call it? Those Lucha Underground storytelling versus practical storytelling of actually just getting fired like EC3 did. So it's interesting. It also, I think, gives a way of having her come back to life in the future. Maybe, I don't know, but it's definitely weird. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's an interesting way to go with it. I guess it helps further the storyline. It's too bad they couldn't work it out better with AEW to have the dropping of her coming a part of AEW to be next week, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been a big cliffhanger. I guess maybe people would see this coming if they were watching the story untold because of that news. But you know, it's still a good storytelling method. You know, don't have someone just leave. You have someone leave to tell the story too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And it gives a new meaning of leaving on your back. But yeah, but also talking about Allie's new company AEW, the women of AEW, specifically Brandy Rhodes, Britt Baker, and who's the
Rose?
Nyla Rose?
Nyla Rose.
The three of them walked in on a Rise event. Rise is, I believe, an all-women's wrestling company. So then they had their little pay-per-view on Fight TV. And then out of nowhere, here comes Britt, Brandy, and Nyla. So that's really cool. It shows that even there are women-only promotions that are now working with AEW that gives AEW even a bigger sense, a more epic sense than what we already knew. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, it's a really good showing and a smart idea for AEW. They know how they of course know not to send the men in there to do that for them, to send the women out there to show solidarity, because I mean that's what the people go there to see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, much like the other ones, it's a great way to keep them in the news, keep people talking about them. So yeah, good idea overall.
And then Double or Nothing is all coming closer and closer upon us, and as long as they can do something to get to keep them in the news, like 2 weeks ago. Last week we had Ali getting signed. 2 weeks ago we had the Lucha Brothers dropping their titles to the Young Bucks. So it all keeps everything going pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. You know, I also believe at some event, I think Nick and Matt Jackson teased the fact that they were going to have a All In 2. Did you hear about that? You know,
I did, yeah.
I think it was going to be in Chicago again.
I did hear about that, which is pretty big. Since we're still talking about AEW, there's a man who is one of the executive vice presidents of AEW, and he his name is Kenny Omega. He recently in Canada had an HBO documentary.
Yeah, HBO Canada.
Yes, and it was a documentary about him, and I personally haven't been able to see it because we're not in Canada.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, if you've seen any of our other channels or other shows or other episodes, you know where we're from. We're down in the Big Easy for the most part, New Orleans. So
I thought we were in Mexico.
Not yet. Who knows? But
live from Guadalajara, Mexico. See, my Spanish is on point. Really roll those R's.
Nice. But so it's really cool that he has something that big go down, a documentary that isn't associated to somebody in the WWE.
Yeah.
The last big one was Andre the Giant, and even though in the first early parts of his stages he wasn't, but once Vince McMahon had the company, Andre the Giant was basically just WWE commodity. So
Sally Pot near the worst tail end of his career, actually.
Exactly.
If you watch his earlier stuff, he's actually pretty much he can almost be considered a spot monkey.
Yeah, apparently he was kind of like the War Raiders.
I've seen one match where he went over the top rope at least 2 or 3 times.
Wow, so he was doing innovative stuff before everyone else.
It's not really flying over the top rope; it's getting like kicked over it. But it's like very intense stuff for a guy that size.
And other big giants following in his footsteps, like the War Raiders or Keith Lee, guys like that. But yeah, Kenny Omega has his own documentary, and I got to watch one interview about it, and they were talking about how he heard about Kota Ibushi. He was talking about the Golden Lovers. He heard about Kota Ibushi, and he watched a match from him, and he was like, I want to meet this guy. And he went over to Japan, and he was only supposed to be there for a month. So he he had one match, and it was supposed to be like a 3-match feud. After the first match, they're like, no, we're going to have y'all be a tag team. And then that's how the Golden Lovers became a thing. And then he stayed in New Japan way longer, like for 3 years, I think, than he was longer than he was supposed to. So that's awesome. And now he has a huge opportunity with a brand new company that's only had one show and 3 press conferences, AEW. So it's going to be amazing and interesting to see what goes down and where everything goes.
Yeah, no, it's great to see there. Now, I know on Twitter you said that there is the possibility, if there's enough attention, enough people wanting it, to have it go to more countries, which probably shouldn't be a problem for HBO Go. I wouldn't see it.
Oh, yeah.
It shouldn't be a big deal for HBO to do that, but you just have to know that there is a one for it.
HBO, if you're watching, there is a want for it.
Yeah.
Because we can always watch that and do a review on it.
We do a documentary on us watching it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it took us 3 months of always doing these podcasts, but finally HBO Go listened and let us watch this documentary.
Yeah. And the documentary, it's like, it took us 10 days to watch it, mostly because our schedules weren't lining up.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it's really cool for him. And
we could never get DJ to come.
Yes. It's like, come on. It's going to be great. You'll love it. I think he'll love Kenny Omega too if you actually watch him.
You'll golden love it.
Yeah, nice. All right. And then transitioning from...
I have some other big news. We talked about this some weeks ago about Lucha Underground.
Oh,
and the people suing to get their release from there. And Lucha Underground has given their release. The names, I believe it was just 4 names. Joey Ryan, El Hijo de Fantasma, who was
King
Cuerno in Lucha Underground. Thunder Rosa, who was Cobra Moon in Lucha Underground. And also Ivelisse.
And I'm super excited about Ivelisse getting released. That rolled right off the tongue.
The Ivelisse release.
Yes. We might see her possibly show up again in NXT. AEW is a possibility. Rise, Stardom, the other Japanese all-women promotion. Impact, or other... Because I know she does a lot of super indie all-female shows a lot, and then super indie shows in general. So it'd be cool to see her be a part of something bigger. And it's weird that we didn't actually get to see Ivelisse in Impact with their what do you call that bloody thing? Their contract.
Partnership?
Partnership. Yeah. So that's always been something strange, but now she has the freedom to go and do whatever it is the heck she wants. We hope to see her in AEW, or at least I do.
Yes.
I was always a huge Ivelisse fan from the beginning.
It just sucks. It's like, hey guys, I know my future. It's to be a part of the SmackDown Women's Division. And that can be...
Dude, how awesome would that be, though? To just have her come in, wreak havoc, and just be the champion for a year. Oh, that would be amazing. It'd be sad for Asuka.
Well, I guess we'll get that to the transition into our next segment, unless you had anything else in this one, or... Yeah, but there was one more. The ROH card. Yes.
Yes, it's the road to the G1 Supercard. They will be in Baltimore, and that's going to be tonight. I think it's going to air or go live tonight. We have some pretty big matches going. Full disclosure, though, not disclosure, but for anybody who doesn't know what the G1 Supercard is, it's basically New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor.
Event.
Coming together to do something big, kind of like what will happen next week with Impact and Lucha Underground. Because apparently Lucha Underground is still doing things.
Yeah.
So Lucha Underground and Impact have their big crossover event coming. Same with Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we have Jay Lethal and Jeff Cobb versus Juice Robinson and Bandito versus Vinny Marseglia and TK O'Ryan in a triple threat tag team match. I know. Did Bandito and Juice become part of the same stable?
Yeah, you remember when we talked about Juice's stable? And,
yeah. I didn't know Bandito was there.
Yeah, he was there from the beginning.
Okay, cool. So, we have Jay Lethal and Jeff Cobb. That's really cool. Because both of those wrestlers are really good.
I'm trying to think of Jay Lethal. I'm sure he's probably going to be part of something. Jeff Cobb's going to fight for the Intercontinental title. No, not the
United States one?
He's going to fight for the Never Openweight title against Kota Ibushi.
Kota Ibushi has it now?
Yeah.
Oh, drag.
Wait, does he?
Because I know he lost it not too long ago to Will Ospreay.
No, he's fighting Will Ospreay. Sorry.
Okay, he's fighting Will Ospreay. Okay,
that should be. But yeah, he's going over for the Never Openweight Championship. Yeah, that's right.
That's cool.
I saw it on Twitter. Will Ospreay calling him out.
Juice Robinson and Bandito. Obviously, Juice Robinson has all the history in New Japan Pro Wrestling, being a former a two-time champion there. Bandito, we got to see him in All Elite's All In event, which was amazing. The other two names, Vinny Marseglia and TK O'Ryan, I do not know. Have you seen any of them? So, yeah. Too bad we can't check this one out, because it'd be cool to see new guys, see what they bring to the wrestling
world. New to us.
Yeah, new to us, at least. Yeah, correct. Then we have an ROH World Tag Team Champions, the Villain Express, which is...
Enterprise.
Oh, Enterprises, my bad. It is... And they are going to be PCO and Brody King.
That's a group led by Marty Scurll.
Yes, and they'll be facing off against the Briscoe brothers, the Briscoes. And then we have Marty Scurll versus Shane Taylor. So in a match after, so that should be cool. And then for our Women of Honor triple threat tag team match, we have Sumie Sakai and Jenny Rose versus... I apologize if I botched this last name. She'll be facing against Chris Statlander and Tasha Steelz. And the other team will be Gabby Ortiz and Carissa Rivera. I don't know any of those names except for Sumie Sakai. And yeah. I would totally like to check them out, see what all those women are about. Next is Roosh versus Tracy Williams, and you told me Roosh is the leader of LI, Los Ingobernables, not Japan.
Yes.
Silas Young versus Mark Haskins. That's cool. I know Mark Haskins, not Silas Young though. Kenny.
I'm trying to think. I think Silas Young had a little stint in WWE, then went back after being released. May be wrong there, but the name definitely rings a bell. Mark Haskins is, I think, also part of the group with Juice Robinson, I believe.
Okay. And you have Kenny King versus PJ Black, not to be confused with Aleister Black or TJP.
Yeah, it's peanut butter and jelly black.
And then we have the final match on here, which is the Shadow Squad, represented by Cheeseburger, Eli Isom. I think I screwed that name up. I'm sorry. And Ryan Nova against Coast to Coast, which surprisingly does not have Shane McMahon in there. It is LSG and Shaheem Ali with Colin Delaney with them two. and that's in a 6-man tag.
Their gimmick should be that the only move they ever do is coast to coast. So it's just like a 30-minute match of them doing like 12 coast to coast.
I feel like that would totally just destroy them. But that seems like a really fun card.
Yeah.
And too bad we were unable to watch it and go live with y'all today for it. But maybe in the future we'll be able to do more indie stuff coming up soon. And just something for funsies. Let's look at what the matches of tonight's MLW Fusion gonna be.
So that's the one airing, huh?
Yes, it's gonna be
And that
at 7 o'clock for us.
7 for us?
7 o'clock Central Time. Yeah.
Was that from yesterday?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that's it on TV, the BN Sports. The YouTube one premieres at 11 today, so it just came on a little while ago.
Yeah.
So you can check this out on their YouTube page.
Yeah, YouTube page on Sunday afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are the matches that happen, and we won't give you any spoilers because it doesn't have them on here. We have Teddy Hart's open contract match for the MLW Middleweight Championship, so that should be fun. I know you're a huge Teddy Hart fan.
Yeah.
Airwolf versus Ricky Martinez.
No. I've heard of Airwolf before, but I have not seen them in action yet.
Okay. And then we have it looks like there's only 3 matches here, and it's Daga versus Ariel Dominguez. So yeah, the three matches, probably all really strong, especially Teddy Hart's. So it'd be cool to see.
Probably a lot of high flying there. I mean, you definitely have some luchadors. Daga, if I remember correctly, I've seen it before. His style, they call it the Mexican strong style.
Okay.
So,
who's the one who people
style.
call? Who's the one people call the base?
King, the base god?
Yes.
Gringo Loco?
Okay. Yeah, he's not in any of those matches we talked about.
No. Maybe doing something AAA, I don't know. But
okay. Hey, he might be in New York really soon. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be. I mean, he's definitely probably going to be part of the Battle Riot.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good shout.
Tapings.
But yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing all this, what happens, to see where everything goes up to the G1 Supercard, because since we're in the news outside of WWE, might as well talk about it right now. Next week, or on Saturday, we should be watching possibly 2 events. If not both, definitely the G1 Supercard in Madison Square Garden. We'll be watching and reacting live to that, so that'll be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to it. Any thoughts about it so far?
I'm looking forward to it. The matches I do know are there. It's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
What else? I think Tanahashi's going to face against Zack Sabre Jr. for the British Championship. British Championship. And they're also going to fight him. I think it's Tanahashi and is it Ospreay? Thinking maybe Tanahashi with Ospreay is going to face Zack Sabre Jr. and Suzuki for the tag belts, for Rev Pro tag belts at the Rev Pro show.
That'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Because
they're different stables, but obviously Chaos and Taguchi Japan have been teaming up quite a bit together.
Yeah.
So. Right before we get into our next segment, a fun little tidbit.
I don't know if my boy Ishii is going to be in any matches.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
But fun little tidbit right before, Dave Meltzer did have a 5-star match, and it was Sonata and Okada.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and I was watching Cultaholic, and Jack the Jobber said he didn't really think it warranted a 5-star match, but I know a few people who have seen it really enjoyed it, so I kind of want to go back and see that final before the G1 Supercard. I completely forgot your like the information to get into the New Japan World, so I'll need that again one day. That's why I don't watch any of it yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the news outside of the WWE. It's time to move on to the news inside of the WWE. What do we've got, Liam?
Do you want to start off talking about some good news?
Yeah, let's go. Let's get right into some good news.
Okay, let's talk about that. Oh yeah, he's gonna be there. Should lower the computer volume then. Yeah. So let's talk about that SmackDown Women's title. No, I'm just joking. That's not good news. Let's talk about instead the wonderful news between Bray Wyatt and JoJo.
Yes, they're having a little baby.
Yeah, and she's actually quite along now. They've just shown the what do they call them? The expecting pictures or maternity pictures.
Yes. Oh, dread.
I forget the
threw me for a loop
term.
there.
But yeah, but they had that
ultrasound, right?
No, the actual I think it's maternity portraits. That's
Oh.
where the mother takes pictures showing off her pregnant belly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did that.
Yeah, it was on a beach, looked all nice and stuff, and she's quite long. The baby should be coming in June. They already have a name. I think it's going to be a boy. And Kanash, I think it's just going to be pronounced Nash, but it has a K in front of it.
Obviously.
Clearly a reference to Kevin Nash.
Yeah, I was just about to say that myself.
That's
so
why
far,
I
that's the
jumped
joke
in.
everywhere. That's the joke everywhere is it's a reference to Kevin Nash. But it's really cool. We congratulate the two of them. I guess.
You just have like a thing going, and it's like, who's Triple H calling all the time? Like backstage, you see like the cell phone up to the baby's belly, up to.
But it'll be interesting. So I'm guessing that because I think Bray Wyatt was married or in a relationship, so I doubt they're sticking around together. But I'm guessing with the schedule the way it is, JoJo and Bray Wyatt have more of a time to be together.
Yeah, I mean they've been together for a while though. So if it was in a relationship beforehand, that probably would have been ended.
No, yeah, quite a while. But
yeah.
it's really cool that she's so. And I
saw
noticed
somebody
it too.
on Twitter, I think it was. That's so he went from the Eater of Worlds to the Impregnator of Girls.
And I've been noticing it too, where there's been no JoJo. And I was like, what? I feel like I'm losing my mind, but I feel like there's no JoJo, and now we know why.
Yeah. So congratulations.
Congratulations, 100%. Now let's get into the worst news of this week. Asuka is no longer champion, dropping her belt to Charlotte Flair. And this past episode of SmackDown Live. It's a shame. And
it really comes out of nowhere too, because initially it was gonna have like a fatal 4-way match to decide who's gonna fight her at WrestleMania. That's just done away with no reasoning, and then just replaced with this.
Yeah, apparently it was Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon's like
saying backstage
we're two women short for the Royal Rumble. Should we put Lacey Evans and some other woman that we don't use in there who's not going to be in the Rumble? And it's like, no need for that. I'll just take the title off of Asuka, and we'll have another woman for that. And then we won't have to pick someone to face her. Perfect idea.
But yeah, apparently backstage he was saying that in the Fatal 4-Way, whoever won, no one would have cared about it, and which is not true, because I've been screaming for Sonya Deville to get a real shot already. I thought, and I knew that was the obvious correct choice, because she can actually have a 20-minute match with Asuka and it'd be great.
Oh, granted, we don't need a 20-minute match.
True.
This was WrestleMania.
True, but I was hypothesizing that they're talking about the Fatal 4. what better way of finally getting Lacey Evans really in there and giving her that push? Because just annoying people with coming out to the ring and doing nothing, and then she comes out to the ring right before the bell rings, and she's actually a part of the match. That would have made people be like, what? Now she's doing something? Right now when it's like, oh, because everyone knows there's your winner, and it's just going to give her that heat, and it'll make people care like that. You had it, and you screwed it all up. You threw it all away, and it's so annoying. Any thoughts of what you think is going to happen at the end of WrestleMania?
It is a question about whether it means the unification of the belts.
Mm-hmm. That's been on everyone's mind.
Their view of the women's division, as in how they booked it, shows that they may not think there's enough stars to support two divisions. They can if they booked them properly, but
because I feel like not two. I think they think there's only enough stars for two divisions, and now they have a third. Unify the singles, so they have one singles and one tag team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely shows because they already unified the tag team by starting off unified.
Yes, 100%.
So I think it's going to be a combination, and just hope that it's Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that sentiment. If they don't have Charlotte go, I don't bring anything to the table. Lynch, I bring this to the table. I'll put this on the line as well, and it's just then it's just a bunch of pointless Charlotte getting a championship for the sake of all of the four horsewomen being champions at the end of the show, which doesn't make doesn't make sense in the storylines because Becky hates Charlotte. Charlotte hates Becky. Seeing when they put their championships up, it's just going to be like, oh yeah, I still have this, but I beat you for this, and it's going to fall flat. It's not going to be that moment of all four being united with championships.
Yeah,
they could have done that, but they didn't. And yeah,
no, it was a random idea. I still think that Becky's gonna make Charlotte tap to keep Rousey still looking strong.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would only make sense unless Rousey's still gonna have the Raw championship, and Becky just wins SmackDown. Then it makes more sense to unify them. Thinking of which, did you see the absolutely hilarious ESPN takes?
Yes.
I didn't even think that was real at first, but then I found out it was legitimate by Charlotte having a negative reaction to him. But yeah, that's great. Charlotte, daughter of Flair, had everything handed to her.
And then
Becky Lynch
won the Royal Rumble.
Is the man, worked for everything.
And then what was first woman in MMA Hall of Fame, this and that and the other.
It's like whiny or something like that.
That is so funny.
Yeah, especially knowing that it's real.
Mm-hmm. And it also goes to show you who the majority of everyone is backing and rooting for in this story. Becky Bloody Lynch. Come on. Of course it's Becky Lynch.
Man, isn't it kind of almost what Vince McMahon wants us to do for us to want the women's champion to be held by the man?
At least it's not held by a man. Amen.
But that's real funny. And completely ridiculous to take the title off of Asuka.
Yes, 100%. And if it's not unifying the belts, it just seems
even more ridiculous.
Because you want everyone to have WrestleMania match. You want everyone to be there, but they don't have to be. And you used to know this. Not everyone has to have that moment right now. So, just unfortunately, wait until Money in the Bank for Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
Start building up someone to Money in the Bank. Don't just take it away from her and be like, oh well.
They could have built up the winner of the women's Rumble match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and be like, Asuka may not be winning, but the winner gets to face Asuka at Money in the Bank, regardless of brand. And Ember Moon could make a return. She'd be a great opponent. Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans, Sonya Deville. I'm also thinking Sonya Deville. Ruby Riott, even.
How about Mandy Rose? She seems like the strong one out of that crew.
How about not Mandy Rose, and let's go with Sonya Deville. But and a lot of people who have been hearing me for the last, I think, 10 episodes, probably like, wow, is Sonya Deville his favorite wrestler right now in the women's division? No, it is still Becky Lynch. It's just Sonya Deville is a talent that I have seen and want to see grow and want to see have opportunities, because she can go toe-to-toe with Asuka and it be believable. She can go have a 20-minute match with Sasha Banks and it be really good, and Sasha doesn't have to control the whole match by trying to kill herself the whole time. So yeah, that's...
This is a weird poster here from Baron Corbin's actual page of the WrestleMania match, an unprecedented 8-star match. Didn't actually happen yet, so how's that a rating? And I like the fact that he just puts pictures of him putting people on rest holds.
But
really gets you hyped up for that one.
Yeah, we're gonna see all the rest holds. But what's the last WWE news? Oh yes, I remember now. It's from here. Drat.
Yeah, it's gonna be covering some of that cross promotional stuff between NXT and Evolution.
Evolve.
Yes.
Yes. Let me get right back to this.
Something about Darwinism in there. So it's just going to be some events outside, because they're also having another Worlds Collide event too. I think I don't know if they made all the names aware, but it's only going to be an Access thing. I guess they put some of it up last time, right? On the page. On YouTube and on the network, right? So they may have that again. I don't know what it's going to be for this year, though, or this time. Last time it was for any championship, but they're also going to have the women involved in this too. On the poster, I know they put Tony Storm on there. That's another thing too. Did you know that Viper Pippin made her NXT UK debut?
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. People were kind of criticizing WWE NXT for giving that away, but she also kind of gave it away on Twitter, because she was like saying, I just want to throw this out here, y'all should be watching NXT UK today. So it was kind of understood at that point. But yeah, she was in part of the first Mayhem Classic, and now she's part of NXT UK.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Alright, so here we go. On Friday, Evolve Wrestling announced that their Evolve 126 event on April 13th at the Orpheum in Ybor City, Florida, will have an Evolve versus WWE NXT theme for the event. The following matches were announced. There are Austin Theory, if he is still champion, defending the Evolve Championship. And he's also Austin Theory versus Raul Mendoza in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Angelo Dawkins versus Eddie Kingston in a singles match. Shane Thorne versus Kurt Stallion in a singles match. Adrian Jody?
Jode
versus Anthony Henry. And then appearances from WWE NXT superstars include Lacey Lane and Eric Bergenhagen. And that's been announced thus far. It being April 13th, the day before Game of Thrones comes out, means we might be able to watch it if it isn't too expensive.
Possibly a few people being killed off because of that.
Yes.
They have to compete with Game of Thrones.
Yes.
We're going to at least need 10 deaths. And it's like, in storyline? Yes. In storyline.
Wink.
Why'd you wink at me for that? Oh, sorry, I just meant to wink at the audience.
But yeah, so that should be a fun event. In 2 weeks.
Yes,
coming.
2 weeks, yes.
And it'll give some of the NXT guys something to do the week after Mania weekend, because usually that weekend is just a recap of what happened to NXT before. So it gives some of them something a little more to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That should be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's the end of the WWE news segment right now.
Yeah. Then we go on to our next segment.
Yes, the next segment is, I like to call it the best segment of the week, because it's where we pick a segment that happened this week that we thought was the best.
Mm-hmm.
The best segment of the week. All right, what's yours, sir?
When it came to wrestling, mostly I was just able to watch NXT this week, and it wasn't necessarily that great of a week. You had 2 matches that had just like outside run-ins / interferences in there, you know, just story building stuff. But I am, my 2 things I'm trying to decide between is the final match, which was Aleister Black and Ricochet defeating the Forgotten Sons, the Forgotten Sons for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic finish, or the other one was during the Matt Riddle match versus that other guy, where we had interference from a kind of run-in distraction from Velveteen Dream that came from Fog coming onto the stage and 2 women rolling out Velveteen Dream on a couch while he's drinking from a gauntlet. That's all he really did for the most part, but
I mean, to be fair to Matt Riddle, that would distract me too. At least that's not just.
I mean, it didn't distract him for too long, you know.
Yeah.
He ends up winning, but still.
But I feel like distractions when you just hear music and it takes a while for the wrestler to actually get out is a lame way to do run-ins or distractions. But something that extravagant definitely warrants look. It's like, what the heck is going on here? Or when it's something like there's no music and just he's randomly on the apron and he's like, hey, how's it going? It's like, what? Where'd you come from? That makes way more sense. But a lot of the stuff they're doing now doesn't. But just talk about both of them.
The match was a pretty good tag team match. Now, I'm not necessarily a fan of the idea of having these mostly makeshift tag teams come in and winning the tournament like that, because I don't think newly formed tag teams should always have an advantage over more long-stead tag teams. Doesn't always make sense story-wise. But beyond that, it was a very good match with some back and forth hot tag stuff, a lot of good action, high-flying stuff, synchronized stuff. So I thought it was pretty entertaining all the way through. The ending was kind of understandable, it wasn't going to be the Forgotten Sons, but still, it was still pretty good all the way through. But it was a good entertaining match. But like I said, it's very hard not to pick Velveteen Dream coming out on a couch pushed by women with smoke and fog. The only way he could have been better is if he had like a tiger cub sitting on his lap or something.
That would have been awesome.
Yes.
I would have been jealous.
The only negative thing I had of it is that when Matt Rowe got in his face and took the gauntlet and like drank some from it and like just splashed it there, it was just water. I was like, it should have been something. Like, even if they just dyed the water to make it have a color like purple water.
Or they just use like pitch black Mountain Dew or something.
Yeah, just to give it the idea that it was drinking something a little more extravagant than just water, but still. And he did take up the mic and stop the ring announcer from saying, the winner is Matt Riddle, because he wanted to say it himself. The winner is Matthew Riddle. He's like using his
bro.
Yeah.
Man, who do you think is gonna win? I think that one's the hardest one to predict.
It is one of the hardest ones to predict, yeah.
Because you gotta think, the loser is going to Maine.
Does he call me up Vince, or don't test me Vince?
Don't know.
I guess we'll see.
But yeah, so that's really cool. I didn't get to watch a lot of wrestling this week. I did see a little bit of SmackDown, but I did not watch the match
because
we
of your
talked
girlfriend?
about. No, not. I don't blame my girlfriend for me not watching wrestling before I have the wrestling. That was just my own personal screw up. I am not DJ. But anyways, I did get to see a little bit of Raw as well, and nothing really stood out to me, unfortunately. So I just went back and watched a match that I've already seen before and had a great time watching. It was Bandito, Rey Mysterio, and Rey Fenix versus the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi. And I forgot how amazing that match was. It was a lot of fun. It was great. And I had a great time rewatching that match. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. You can find it on YouTube, or you can find it on Fight TV, Fight.tv. Go through All In. It's the main event of the show. It's really good, and it has a lot of fun, high-flying wrestling, especially in the luchador stuff. And yeah, that's all I have this week. Next week, I'll be able to talk way more, because by the time we do this show, and again, at the end of the show, we'll explain everything, how it's going to go. But by the time we do this show, I'll have seen TakeOver New York. Yeah. I would have seen possibly Impact versus Lucha Underground. If not that, definitely the G1 Supercard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be having to. I would have seen a lot of amazing wrestling leading up to. Oh man, we're gonna be so depressed. Dang, I just thought of that. Did you already think about this? Or did it just occur to you right now, too?
Oh, I have a constant idea of being depressed at WrestleMania.
But it just occurred to me, we're going to watch a TakeOver event, which is going to be amazing. Mm-hmm. We're going to see a G1 Supercard special, which is not only New Japan, but also Ring of Honor, which is going to be amazing. And then we're going to have to watch 8 hours, if not more, of WrestleMania. Drat.
We'll get through it.
We'll get through it, because we have no choice. But
I mean, you're gonna have Kofi versus Daniel Bryan. That should be a good match.
Yes, that should be a great match.
That one's triple threat can probably be pretty good.
I think it is gonna be good, as long as the finish, as long as it's not a sucky finish.
Yeah, because remember, if Becky doesn't win, then we'll all very, very tiredly be very angry on the internet, because we're gonna be pretty exhausted, and it'll be pretty.
Is New Yorkers one to riot? I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
What do you mean?
Because you know how in Philadelphia they were like, oh, if John Cena wins, we riot. I had every belief in my body that that is 100% true.
I mean, Philadelphia once threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Holy crud.
Oh, yeah. How about that story?
No.
Yeah, I was at a Philadelphia Eagles game.
Oh my god.
They were upset about how the Eagles have been that season, and it was like getting pretty late in the season. It was snowing. They brought Santa Claus out there for like halftime, and they were so upset they chucked snowballs at Santa.
Oh my word. Yeah, so Philadelphia, I believe they would riot
Brotherly love.
They were there. Oh crud. So,
I mean, they may be too tired to riot.
Maybe that's why. That's why the women are on.
It's got to be so long, yeah.
It's gonna be so long. The New Yorkers are gonna be so tired.
People are gonna battle riot.
Like, oh man.
People are gonna be battle rioting that Friday.
Exactly.
And there's gonna be even more stuff. Yeah, they're gonna be tired.
They're gonna be way too tired. By the end of that, they're gonna be like, I want to riot. I want to be so angry, but I can't. Screw you, Vince.
If it was at being like at the end of last year's WrestleMania, I was just so tired and didn't even bother to focus on the match. I still remember the whole looking over and it's like, Roman Reigns is bleeding. When did that happen? That was by the time he was already covered in blood.
Why is everyone trying to get Roman up off the ground? Where's his championship? Why does Brock have a championship over there?
Where's the
Brock won? Dang it!
That was the main focus there. But yeah, at least should be a better main event. That's just a better ending.
Oh yeah, 100%. I still think Brock is winning. I don't know why.
Hey, how about stupid BS ways that they can have the triple threat? Thing of this one, they both put an arm bar on Charlotte, and Charlotte quits while they both have a submission on. So they just both co-win Ronda and Becky.
It's like you're trying to give Vince these horrible ideas.
I'm just trying to outpredict him. Doesn't it sound like something he could do?
Yes.
Yeah. So, see.
Alright, so let's go to our next segment. And it is the I'm pretty sure this is where we're supposed to rant. But we're not doing that up until next week. Because next week might be the last week we have this segment. We'll see. It's going to be, what do we want from WWE? Where we try to be more positive and ask WWE to actually listen to the real fans and not the people who are just entitled to their own beliefs. I mean, yeah, us wanting Becky to win, and some people actually do want Charlotte to win.
Crazy people.
Yes, and even crazier people want Ronda to win. But
even crazier people want Stephanie McMahon to run in and win without Stephanie McMahon. Yes.
And Jen Louise from Cultaholic just wants Linda McMahon to come back. But yeah, so
she could.
She could.
I mean, she quit. She resigned from the small business council thing that she was a part of under the Trump administration. So she's going to be back with the company more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
so I can start.
Okay, all right, go.
What I want to see is when you have Hall of Fame and you have stables going in and tag teams, I want full tag teams and stables to go in. You know, outside of individual reasons why you may not want an individual to come that's major. I think when it comes to, like, say, the Hart Foundation, you know, they just showed Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart in there. I think it should be everyone from the Hart Foundation, you know. Brian Pillman Sr. He also had the British Bulldog
in
there.
Their manager, Teddy Hart.
Right. I can understand why they wouldn't say Dynamite Kid in there, just because of what happened afterwards with him, with his wife and all the abuse charges and stuff. But for the other ones, it would make sense for them to just put him in there. Owen Hart as part of it for a while. I don't know what the relationship is with it, because apparently there was the fact that Owen Hart's wife didn't want them to use his likeness for any promotional purposes, which is why he was never considered into the Hall of Fame yet. But if they can work that out, then that'd be a good thing to get him into. I saw it from Brian Pillman Jr.'s picture about the real group that should be going in, that has the full Hart Foundation, and so I want to see them for that, and for future ones to have all members of a stable go in, not just pick and choose outside of extreme circumstances like say Dynamite Kid,
or Chris Benoit, or something like that. Because he was a part of the new Four Horsemen, I believe.
Yeah, he probably was.
So
or if they bring in, say, the Renegades as a whole, I can understand why they would even want. Is that what they call them? The group that came from WCW to WWF at the time.
I think he was
Perry Saturn, Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, I think he was a part of it too.
Yeah, he was a part of it. I'm just trying to remember the name.
Oh yeah. Interesting enough, Eddie has yet to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's definitely a person that should be in there.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Thinking about it, did you see? Thinking about Eddie Guerrero, did you see the episode of SmackDown where Rey Mysterio brought his son in? You remember they had that whole custody feud with him? His son is so much giant compared to him. I was looking at that and it's like, maybe he is Eddie Guerrero's son. It doesn't seem like at all he could come from Rey Mysterio.
It's like Rey Mysterio, Dominic, what the heck?
Yeah, it's like, here's Dominic with his son Rey Mysterio Jr.
But yeah, I'm gonna bring it to the WWE pay-per-views. What I want to see from WWE pay-per-views is a shorter card, so that way you can do 3 things because of this. You can pick and choose the more important storylines. After those storylines have their pay-per-views, you can give them a rest and not go to the next one, but the one after, and have like jumps and stuff. And you're then forced to actually tell cohesive storylines.
Does it have the sound?
Let me check. Yes. So yeah, that's what I want to see: shorter, more concise pay-per-views with more concise storytelling, so that we can have a bigger and a faster enjoyment of it all. I mean, yeah, your WrestleManias, your Royal Rumbles, they're going to be long. We already know that. Look at Sakura Genesis or Dominion or Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Kingdom next year is going to be 2 days. So, I get that the biggest events are going to have everything and everyone. And for the most part, that's okay. But you can still have it more concise, more to the point. And having shorter pay-per-views before those, the biggest 2 would then give you the opportunity to have better storytelling leading up to WrestleMania. By having people take a break and then coming back in a big way and be like, oh, obviously this is going to end at WrestleMania. Look at what happened last year when we thought The Miz and Daniel Bryan would be able to go the distance to WrestleMania. That's obviously not happening.
Who called that?
Yes, but I think that calls for the best because now we have heel Daniel versus face Kofi, and that's gonna be it's a big match. Mm-hmm. Come on, Kofi, please just win the bloody thing. Anyways, so yeah, that's really cool, and being able to have like those breaks and in between and go back in and having that fluidity, it'd be more like an ocean versus just a road. Because if you're on the ocean, you're constantly moving. You have to adjust, and it's more active. It's more fun. Whereas if you're just driving down a road, yeah, maybe you'll have a turn here and there. Maybe you have a hill up and down. For the most part, you're just going straight on, and it can get boring. So be like the ocean, not like the road, WWE. That's what I got. I hope my analogy made sense. Yeah, let's move on to the our personal favorites, where we get to book crazy things. It's our fifth segment of the show. It's Book It Ourselves, where we take a topic and we book it ourselves. And guess what's happening really soon? In 2 weeks, Liam. We already talked about it.
What? Is it Evolve, an NXT show? That's 2 weeks, right?
You are correct.
Yes.
However, there's something the day after that that's even bigger.
Is it Game of Thrones?
It is Game of Thrones. And
Game of Thrones Royal Rumble?
Exactly. Well, let's not do a Royal Rumble because then we have to do positions and stuff like that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's the Night King.
Number 20. Oh yeah, I was gonna say Night King.
Hey, you stole one of my jokes. I had to steal one of yours.
Daenerys about to get thrown off. 2, 1, Dan. It's It's one of the dragons.
Let's have a battle royale, and obviously, unlike the WWE, this is gonna have a lot more permanent consequences. We'll take 15 characters, throw them in a field, and they have to go and try to win. Who do we? Obviously, we have to have Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Just to throw him into some turmoil, let's throw Sam Tully in there.
Okay.
Samuel Tully. The Night King has to be there.
Yeah.
As well as Jamie.
Yeah.
And the Hound.
Yes.
And
I was gonna say who was gonna. I was about to ask you who's gonna be my pick. To make you pick the Hound in there. Yes, and the Mountain.
Yes. Okay, Drat. I don't remember the character's name, but Jerome Flynn. Do you know who that is?
Jerome Flynn?
The guy who, if you pay him, he'll be on your side.
Oh, Braun?
Braun, yeah. Let's have Braun in there. Let's have him in there.
Yes. Sure, Francesca's favorite.
Exactly. I'm surprised he's still alive up to season 8. That's awesome. I'll be so sad if he dies. He's such a great character.
Mormont.
Jorah, yes. Or Jorah up in there.
Grey Worm.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Grey Worm.
Arya.
Alright, we're going to have Arya Stark in there.
Brianna.
Oh, Brienne of Tarth. There we go.
Yes.
Let's throw her some double the turmoil. Podrick.
Yeah.
And it's funny. They had his little pop at the bookstore. And I was like, oh, that's his name. I already forgot what it was. But the redhead giant of the Free Folk. Let's bring him in there.
Torrin Giantsbane, I think.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I definitely remember the last name was Giantsbane. Torrin's Giantsbane.
Yes. What's really cool about him, though, is he might still be alive. I hope they just don't have his dead body and he becomes a zombie. I'll be so sad.
Do you want to know? Because he's in the trailer. I'm pretty sure I've seen him in the trailer alive.
Okay, that's good. Well, I mean, yeah, the last scene is just the wall coming down.
The wall
He's
comes down.
there.
I didn't see the guy missing the eye, so I don't know if he survived by that. I remember seeing Giant Spain.
Okay, that's cool. Wait, the guy missing? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think if Giant Spain survives, I think he'll survive as well.
He might survive, but I didn't see him in the trailer.
Only for the only for the first episode. Oh, I do not know. Every week leading up to it, it's just I'm always like I don't know what's going to happen. This is crazy. Two more.
Just trying to get mostly fighters in there.
Same here.
Yeah. I don't want to have like a joke one like Baby Sam.
What? Is Gendry? Let's put Gendry in there.
And his hammer.
Yes. And then the last one-eye guy.
Yeah, if he survives.
Yes.
One-eye guy. Yes.
Because he has the most awesome superpower in all of the series.
Yeah.
Say what you will about your necromancy, or being able to make people fall in love with you, or
ability to put faces to your face.
Exactly. Or having dragons, or having magic, or being able to birth dust monster or fog monsters or whatever the crud that was.
Ability to throw a penis into a fire and get visions from it.
Exactly. Other than all that, I think one of the coolest powers, visually at least, is when you see the drunk and the one-eye guy grab their sword. They do that. They just bring it up and fire just comes out of it out of nowhere. It's like, that's awesome. I want that power now.
Okay, so
yeah, there's our 15.
Thinking of Ivy's team ups here.
Mm-hmm.
You had the Hound and the One-Eyed Fire guy. They've already teamed up in the past.
Yes, very true.
Arya and Gendry, that's been a while, but I mean,
it's been a while, but they'll have a good. They'll have a. Oh man, I would really love to see them have a moment of coming together again.
You and all the people who ship them together.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of shippers.
Oh crud! I didn't know. I feel like she's more of the. She likes the ladies, though. I could be completely wrong about that.
She seems pretty neutral for the most
True.
part.
Mm-hmm. Which, kind of like Brianna Tarth, she's a little bit neutral only because she sees herself in a.
No, I mean she loved.
Oh yeah, she had a thing for Jamie.
Well, no, I'm talking about the guy before that.
Oh.
The Baratheon.
Oh, yeah.
Robert's younger brother.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
She really loved him. It was emotional, even though she knew he was gay and all. But it's like definitely a thing with that and Jamie. So I think it's definitely showed that she's straight and or at least bi, but she's never shown any relationship towards a woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not Arya has though, in a way, because of the actress lady.
Somewhat. I don't think romantic though.
Not romantic, but more of empathetic.
Yeah.
Way. Mm-hmm. And I think the first person who's, unless John is basically the backbone, I think Sam might be the first one out in this fight, though. So that brings it down to 14.
I don't know. I think John's going to do as much as he can to protect them.
That is true.
Don't you think everyone's going to just gang up on a Night King? I mean, it would make the most sense. It should be the enemy of everyone else.
But then again, Jamie...
we have a few people with Valerian. Still, you have Jamie. I'm pretty sure Jamie picked up...
yeah, he got it when they...
The king's name. The first...
that'd be Robert Baratheon.
No, the son that became the king. The first son that became the king.
Oh, yes, that was... Drat.
Start with a J or something?
Yeah. Did it?
I don't remember. But the father made 2 Valerian steel swords. He gave one to Brianna, but I'm sure he picked up the other one from his son. So he probably has Valerian. Brianna has Valerian. Sam has Valerian as well.
Yes, and Jon Snow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So there's a lot of people with Valerian steel.
True.
That help them fight the Night King off. And if the Night King's by himself.
But there is 2 people that are just wild cards: the Mountain and and Jaime being associated with Cersei.
Yeah, but I mean, he kind of left though at the end of season 7.
Yeah.
He wants to fight against the Night King. It may mean that the Mountain wants to take Jaime out first. He came.
But I think he did go back because he was getting ready to leave, and then the snow fell, and he was like, "What? This is new for this area." I think that made him go back. We won't know
never seen him go back though.
I know that's why it's left for interpretation.
Yeah, but I think he still went forward. But it could mean that the Mountain wants to take out Jaime first, or Cersei, so they can be preoccupied. But I think there's still enough people to take out the Night King and focus on that. So I would say the Night King goes first, and Jon's going to do as much as he can to keep Sam alive. But it's probably going to be difficult.
I think it'll be difficult, especially if they get separated, because we have Arya Stark, who would definitely... I feel like she would be with Jon Snow throughout until the end.
Yeah.
At least. We have Bran and Podrick.
After the Night King, Arya's going to go for the Hound.
Or if not the Mountain.
Maybe the Mountain.
Definitely, I think the Mountain before the Hound.
She might try to face off against the Hound, but then they see that the Mountain's still alive, and
because he killed he took out Jaime. So Night King, then Jaime.
Yes.
Jaime succumbs to the Hound, or the Mountain. I mean, so them 2 team up, which is a nice callback.
Yes, to take on the Mountain, and then after the Mountain goes down, they can continue the fight.
Yeah, Gendry, he's being a lone wolf, so he's probably not going to be able to survive very long by himself.
Yeah, he's really going stag.
Nice.
Yes.
So we'll eliminate him, and I'm guessing, because he's so infatuated with her.
Yeah, Giant Bane
goes down. Works with instead.
Do you think he's going to be working with Brienne?
I think he's going to be trying to, but then he's just going to get short-sighted and get taken out because of it.
By who, though?
Definitely one of the other... Probably Arya and the Hound. Or at least the One-Eye guy.
Yeah, the One-Eye guy can make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they were kind of working together at season 7. I guess you could just backstab him.
Well, after we mentioned this entire list, most of these people would work together easily. Because I don't...
That's kind of odd part out, because it's just the Mountain. Because Cersei's not taking up arms.
The Night King and the Mountain are the only 2 that wouldn't work together.
Yeah, but the One-Eye guy, he only cares about working with them to take on the Night King. So he probably doesn't care much about allegiances afterwards.
True.
So yeah.
So not Giant Bane, but he would be the 5th one eliminated.
Now, granted, the One-Eye guy would probably still work with the Hound until the end, but
yeah. But then we have the Mormont and Grey Worm. They're working together.
Yeah,
obviously.
Working together,
And we have Sam. I think this is finally when he's separated enough, and them 2 take out Sam. So let's get Sam out the way now. So them 2 are working together. Jon is like, "Oh no, let me team up with Arya and the Hound." And then we have Podrick, the Brienne, Giant Bane, and who is the last one?
Well, we said Giant Bane got taken out by the One-Eyed guy, right?
Oh yeah.
And then Brianna's gonna take out the One-Eyed guy.
Okay. Because she realized she does love him after all. And then, so that's the Arya, the Hound.
Arya the Hound.
So we know the Hound is going after Brienne as a recall. Mm-hmm. So who wins? Is Brienne still the stronger one? Or
I would think so, because she's also going to have Podrick to help out.
This time,
Get some Podrick shots out.
But Arya.
I think that's the point where she stops, because Brienne's not on her list or anything. So I think that's the point where she separates from him. Goes to grab a face to try to really throw people off. Try to pretend to be someone else, maybe.
Maybe she pretends to be Podrick for a while, and it turns out she had already killed Podrick a while ago. And you're like, what? Because obviously, the fact that Podrick survived this long.
Brienne's going to be like, Podrick, you were really helpful there in that fight. But I guess the teachings have really worked. I guess so. Stab Brienne.
Yeah, so there goes Brienne. And then Brienne took down the Hound. So that leaves Arya, Jon Snow, Mormont, and the Grey Worm. Which that makes all the sense in the world for some reason. Because you're gonna forget about Grey Worm and Jorah, because they're not gonna after the king, they're just gonna step to the side and take a rest.
I just thought about that fact, that why would Jorah kill Sam? Because Sam cured him of his grayscale. That's a real dick move, Jorah. How dare you make us do that?
So he's next, because he's the oldest one there. And I see Grey Worm wanting to at least survive a little bit longer and not team up with him. So what happens? Oh man!
Arya gets separated, not dead, but separated. Jon Snow and Grey Worm fight off. Jon Snow wins though.
So no more Grey Worm.
Then over the hill, you hear John. It's Sam, and you're like, what? And he's like, Sam, I thought you died. And it's like, no, I made it. And he's like, yes, but we have to find my sister. And it's like, well, you remember, she's not really your sister. It's your cousin. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, so still got to find her. I think she's over there. It's like, where? Sarah, stab in the back. Pull off the mask. It's actually Arya. Pretending
Arya wins.
Yes, Arya wins.
Our prediction is Arya will survive Game of Thrones all the way. Oh, that was fun. That was a fun battle royal.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
All right, so
not a lot over the top, but it's
well,
over the top rope. I mean,
exactly. Over the top, meaning they lost their lives. Man, I would be so upset if every single one, all 14 of the ones we mentioned here, do get killed off, and Arya is still alive. And it's like, we didn't mean to predict this. What?
Yeah.
Oh, crud. All right, let's move on to our penultimate segment. It is segment number 6. What do you think? Where we take a question. We ask our compadres, what do you think? Since there's only 2 of us here, we only have to ask each other. And we can actually ask the question correctly.
Yeah, so did you want to start?
I will start.
You had one? No.
I did. What do you think about the Green Ranger / White Ranger / Red Ranger / Red Ranger / Black Ranger coming to the WWE? He has teased it a couple of times. He talked about how he would like to be a professional wrestler. Try that for a bit. See if that worked out for him, if he likes it. And he teams up with a lot of the WWE guys. He's been on Up, Up, Down, Down with Xavier Woods. He did something at WonderCon, I believe, with Alexa Bliss not too long ago. So what do you think about Tommy potentially being a professional wrestler?
I'd be okay with it as long as he also brings in the Megazord. How about the Dragon Zord? That's his comeback. Like he's really on the ropes against Brock Lesnar. He brings out the Dragon Zord and just zaps him. And it's like, Tommy wins.
But what about Jason David Frank, the actual person behind the character?
Tommy.
It has to be Tommy?
Yeah, it has to be Tommy. It has to be in character.
That would be funny.
Yes. He also has to spend the rest of his time in a high school or indoor smoothie That's where all his promos are cut. Because it's also Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Tommy too.
Oh, it's all the way back.
All the way back in high school.
Going all the way back.
But it's still the same guy.
Yeah.
So it's like a 40-year-old guy in like a high school / smoothie place with teenagers
at
doing gymnastics.
At the Angel Grove Youth Center.
Yeah, Angel Grove Youth Center.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, he also has to wear all green.
Obviously. Or should he wear all of his colors?
All at once, yeah.
Yes. A green top, black pants, a red
2 different
mask,
shades of reds.
2 different shades of red for a mask. Half of it Zeo, half of it Turbo, and then a white belt. Or white shoes. There we go. That makes way more sense. White shoes. There you go, Tommy. You're in. Your question, because I feel like you do not have an answer outside of the comedic.
My question is there any matches leading up to WrestleMania that you're looking forward to? At any of the events that we talked about, or
outside or inside?
Either or. I'm mostly thinking like everything before WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be WWE events or outside either one. Just not WrestleMania.
I'll do one for both. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole Bebe. 2 out of 3 falls. That is my number 1 most anticipated match for the entire weekend. Kofi and Daniel is really close, and if Becky wins, that's right there too. But for the most part, that one's at number 1 for me. Outside would have to be I would have to say Jay White and Okada. Kazuchika Okada versus Jay White. I think that one. Rainmaker versus Switchblade. I think I'm really interested in that one. If Sonata has a match, that I would be really interested in seeing that. I believe the Intercontinental Championship is being defended against someone, so Naito versus anybody as well. I'm a huge Naito guy, but I think you already knew that.
Yeah. How about if you had a match between Naito and Sonya Deville?
I'm sorry, Naito. Sonya wins. Apparently, Asuka faced against, was it Ishii or Suzuki?
I've seen her against Suzuki.
It was Suzuki then, yeah. Asuka's one brave woman going against Suzuki like that. But yeah, those are the 2 main ones, with a very close third being Naito versus his opponent. I can't recall who it is right now. But I think that entire card is up now. Finally, maybe. I'm not sure.
Most likely is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that was, what do you think?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And it's time for the mailbag, our final segment of the show.
Yeah.
After the mailbag, that's when we'll talk about what will happen next week.
Yeah. The question there is for if you can go in and grab any 90s kids television star to put into wrestling as that character, who would it be? So many options, you know.
There's so many options.
Can you put like Zach Morris in there? It's like in trouble, he's just like, time out. Everyone freezes. It's the advantage. You know?
He would be apparently great for a Chikara match.
You can have Batman in there.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of like a really one that would be. Oh, I got the perfect one. I don't remember his name in the show, but Vader had a son in Boy Meets World. His son. We'll bring his son in there.
That's true.
It's already established.
Yeah.
He can transition really easily. Apparently that actor has lost a lot of weight too.
Yeah, that's good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing I've seen him with was when he was doing My Name is Earl.
Mm-hmm.
He played Earl's
Yeah.
brother. Let's see here. According to Diva Dirt, Ronda Rousey suppresses Alexa Bliss's title record. Alexa Bliss answers back with, of course she did. Frowny face.
Oh,
Frowny face, eye roll. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
If it just starts slapping her in the face.
But yeah, so what's a good mailbag question? Oh, I know a pretty. Let's see if anyone asked. Nope. DJ, you're supposed to ask us mailbag questions. Come on, buddy. So it was a part of your what do you think, but what are your not WrestleMania matches, but the matches before? What were some that you were super excited for?
Something I'm super excited for. I'll be excited for, that Tanahashi match against Zack Sabre Jr. and also the tag team match as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Okada match, of course. What else? There's the Never Open Week title we talked about.
Yeah, Colt Cabana.
Mm-hmm. That was Jeff Cobb.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. My bad. Yeah, that one should be really good because Jeff Cobb is actually a really good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He's really fun.
I'm also thinking of some stuff, like what was I thinking? Thinking of the match you talked about, Adam Cole versus John Gargano.
Yes.
2 out of 3 falls matches. So yeah, I'm excited about all of those ones. Here's a question. Do you think if he does end up going to the main roster that Walter will be able to keep his mystique as it is?
Walter. If they actually.
Because my big concern about it is that I looked it up before. I think he's just 6'3".
Mm-hmm.
So it's not terribly tall compared to a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Main roster, and I think that's part of the reason that he can lose some of his mystique.
I mean, I
because
feel like
when he's compared to a lot of short British guys, looks very.
He looks like a giant, yeah.
Yeah.
But it also could go both ways. He has that vicious chop.
Yeah.
And I feel like he might be shorter, but then he gets his opponents literally on the ropes, and he just gives them that chop, and you see that effect. I think that people will be like, whoa, oh, he may not be the biggest guy, but he's got them chops. And then he also could, if he's not main roster, he can definitely eat up the mid card, without a doubt. But then again, a lot, like Velveteen Dream, he seems like an indie darling, even though he's made from WWE, and it doesn't always seem like he will be able to translate well into the main roster, or any of the Undisputed Era, or Johnny, or Tommaso. Like, they're very still indie based wrestlers, even though they're NXT, because basically NXT is the indie version of WWE. So a lot can be said that they'll have a hard time. I feel like the ones with the hardest time in NXT would do better on main roster, and vice versa, because that's what we've seen so far. Like Elias not doing the best, and then doing amazing, getting the crowd either behind him or against him with a snap of his finger, basically.
Yeah.
Holy crud, Elias is Thanos. How did we not see this?
Walk
Anyway.
with Thanos.
Snap with Thanos.
Yeah,
But
he does more jazz than more jazz, swing jazz type stuff.
mm-hmm. But
you know, what if they, before in Infinity War, they actually defeat Thanos by having Scarlet Witch rewrite reality for him to forget how to snap his fingers. And then he's like, no!
I mean, I feel like if Scarlet Witch had those powers,
yeah, she's very.
she would have been able to use them.
She's toned down a lot in Marvel Cinematic Universe, but
I feel like she's just because where she was in the beginning to where she was when she gets dusted, she definitely did get stronger. But I feel like she's still learning herself throughout the entire series, so she hadn't been able to unlock her truest potential.
So it was interesting what they had to do with reality manipulating characters to like tone them down to make them more endearing, so that they don't just fix everything or destroy everything instantly. You know,
no
there's
more mutants.
There's one interesting one where it was he's sometimes a part of Doom Patrol. Maybe part of some other groups in there, but he flex something. But it's like anytime he flexes his muscle, he changes reality. That's what Doom Patrol. That's what Doom Patrol is like completely ridiculous characters.
I know in
really
the universe, DC universe, I don't wait. Is that what their streaming service is called? DC something with a U, I think. Maybe.
It's universe, I think.
Okay, but I know the Invisible Man is there.
That was
Chick, Negative Man.
He has the ability to make a negative energy form of himself, that has powers. Like that he basically uses that.
And I think he's gay in that show. And then there's the chick whose face melts all the time.
Like an elastic.
Yeah. The chick with multiple personality disorder.
Crazy Jane, who every personality has a different power.
The robot dude.
Yeah.
And Cyborg.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Every single trailer I've seen of that show indicates it's just a really funny comedy extravaganza. And then then I saw one of them, and it was the most depressing trailer I have ever seen. I was like, holy crud. Wait, what is the tone of this show? Is it going to be a comedy, or is it going to be completely depressing?
It's going to be a little bit of both. There's also another crazy character that's a sentient road. He has the ability to teleport into any type of street, and he forms the city to make it seem like he's completely natural part of it.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, very interesting.
But and then I know the Titans are on there right now as well.
No one can change reality on that one though.
Raven.
Maybe. I know she ends up.
She might have potential.
As she gets older, she gets a lot even more power, more potential.
Yeah. Starfire, I don't think ever could. Beast Boy, definitely not. And then Robin.
Doesn't have any powers.
He has the powers of Batman's teachings. But yeah, let's bring in one Marvel and one DC. Who would work the best as a wrestler? And do not say the Hulk. Doesn't count.
Okay, Red Hulk.
I know you said Batman would be a good crossover because he'd be a good thinking. Like he'd be really good in the promos. Like I've studied you. I know all your weaknesses. I have the contingency plan for you. So he'd be really cool. Obviously, Superman is already wrestling. John Cena.
I thought that was an Invisible Man.
I think he's a little bit of both. Superman and Invisible Man had a baby.
Where did it go?
We can't see them. But I would. It'd be really cool to have an Ant-Man character who could shrink and grow at will. If only that was real in reality.
They go up people's butts?
No, not that.
Go up their front ones.
Even worse. Oh, Wonder Woman. She'd be a really cool character to be a wrestler. IRL and Black Widow.
So she taps to Ronda Rousey?
Okay, no. And then let's bring in the most powerful character of all, Shaggy Rogers.
Yeah, I mean, he can destroy the entire WWE.
Were you the one who showed me the Thanos meme with Shaggy?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Sure I probably did. It's like Thanos snaps finger. Hey guys, where's Scooby Doo? Thanos worried. yeah.
Oh man.
Yes, but just with one, maybe 2-3% of all his power, he can beat him. He can beat the entire WWE. I think he has experience with the WWE as well.
He does. You're right. He has like 3 movies with them. 2 or 3.
One's a racing movie for some reason.
Yes, which makes none of the sense. One, they go to the WWE universe as an actual town.
Yeah, WWE.
It's like WWE is just, they see themselves as this end all be all still.
To be fair, it's the next logical step.
An entire town of wrestling, I'd be scared.
Man, I think how uncomfortable it would be. Everything's just steel chairs.
And ladders.
Yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs.
What are you doing?
So, this is how you're supposed to climb ladders here.
If you go too fast, someone will come in and tip the ladder on you. And it hurts. I don't know how, but you always hit a rope, even if there's none to be seen.
Yeah, then you get up close to the top of the rope and you're like, Vicky, where the fuck is she? But all the stores, there's fights constantly happening in them.
He goes to the grocery store, and out of nowhere you see Booker T and Steve Austin just attacking each other, and you're like, nope, don't need milk today. I think I'm moving.
The only way you can actually get milk is to be delivered through fire hose.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I just needed a little bit for my cereal.
It's becoming better and better as we go on.
Entire town dedicated to the kayfabe of the WWE. Oh my gosh.
Everyone has entrance music.
And if you die, it is very possible to be resurrected.
Yeah. That's every funeral is a buried alive match where you lose.
but for some reason you're still trying to win it, trying to come back to life. You're like, no, I don't want to stay dead. Darn. And then Kane lost.
You either get buried or your coffin gets stolen by the big boss man.
Yes.
Yes.
And you're like, does that mean I'm alive again? We'll figure that out later. We'll work on it. You ready to the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun little off-topic thing we went there. Yeah, before we get to the signing off of things, we're going to tell you guys what's going to happen next week. We are not going to do episode 35 of Shooting with the Smarky Family, even though we will be doing it. It's not going to be called Shooting with the Smarky Family, episode 35. It's going to be in the title of WrestleMania Live Extravaganza, where from 2 o'clock until WrestleMania ends, we will be live and just doing everything. The first 2 hours, we're going to be doing the podcast, basically. We're going to talk about the news leading up that happened in the days before, the winners and losers of a lot of matches that we personally watched or some that we heard from the grapevine. We're talking about things that happened on Raw and SmackDown as well. News, things that just come up, obviously. And then we will be talking about like our favorite match that we were able to watch, whether it be from TakeOver or the G1 Supercard or something else we're able to watch. We'll let you guys know. And then what else is there? We'll be doing our Book It Like Normal. We'll be doing our What Do You Think? Our mailbag. We'll be doing everything as the podcast would be for the first 2 hours of the 10-hour extravaganza. Will it be 10 hours or more? Probably more. But it's going to be, like I said, from 2 o'clock until the show ends. Which should be a lot of fun in the beginning, leading to a lot of sadness and depression towards the end. If not that, definitely exhaustion. It's something we've never done before, something that's going to be interesting to say the least. But I think it also will be a lot of fun, especially getting to talk about stuff that we got to watch beforehand. So that's what we're doing next Sunday. And like I said, we will be doing the podcast. It's just not going to be titled Shooting with the Smarky Family. It'll be the 10-hour WrestleMania Live Extravaganza with the Smarky Family. Before that, we will get to TakeOver New York, NXT TakeOver New York. We will be going live and doing live reactions for that.
Yep, on Friday.
On Friday. So be there for that with us. Then we will be going live for the G1 Supercard on that Saturday. We will look up the times to make sure we get you guys the right times to come in and watch with us. So there's that. Next is Impact versus Lucha Underground. If it's on Twitch, we will be having a phone or another computer up, and we'll be watching that as well. We'll be watching both. We'll be focusing more on G1, but the other stuff will be there as well. So there's that one. And if there's any other shows that you guys can recommend to us that isn't going to conflict with any of our other schedules, we'll be trying to watch that as well, because we want to get in as much as we can. So that way we can report as much as we can. And then the last bit, like we said, 10-hour super show for WrestleMania. We might be a little bit late. TakeOver New York, we should be on time. I'm fairly sure we'll be on time for that. We might be a little bit late for the G1 Supercard because we don't know when it starts, and we have an event happening right before that happens that we'll be doing. outside. So if you are going to be at the Chalmette Irish Italian Islanos Parade, come find us out there, and it should be a lot of fun. We'll be out there catching food. Come say hi if you see us. Don't be shy. And then we'll be back in our new location to watch the G1 Supercard and possibly, like I said before, Impact versus Lucha Underground. Last thing, we will not be doing a Raw after Mania live reaction. We will take that day off. So yeah, that's everything. That's everything that I'm aware of for what we had to talk about.
Yeah, I was trying to see. I'm seeing something at bill time at 7:30 p.m. for the Supercard.
Okay.
So yeah, there's another one. Event April 6th at 7:30. That's Eastern time.
So 6:30 for us. So we might be back before then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll look
there.
Yeah.
Should be easy to come back.
Yeah, we should. All we have to do is park here and walk up there and walk back.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then and we'll look up all the other times, and we'll have all the live event stuff on the channel, so that way you can know when we are going live and when the show is about to start.
Yeah.
And I guess now it's time to sign off. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot to us. If you like what we do, please give us those sexy likes.
And the unsexy ones.
If you really like what we do, share it to all of your friends.
And enemies.
And then hit that subscribe button so that way you are a part of the Smarky family. After you do that, ring the notification bell because
you want to get notified from when we go live, because I mean we're having a pretty busy weekend, he just said. So you want to get notified from when we go live for those events, and also just on regular, we go live for our podcast Shooting with the Smarky family every Sunday around 1:30. Get notified for that. Get notified for any videos we put up, or just any general information, polls, info, just general stuff.
Yeah, unless we may give you any messages or something. It'll all be there if you ring the notification bell. But there's another way you can help support us, is by following us on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at IsaJ_STP.
Follow me on Twitter at Liam_SWA.
Follow our other compadres as well at DJC_SEL and at Francesca_SWA. Yeah, busy weekend next weekend, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
we can
interesting.
also probably talk about now that we have the internet set up here about the concept of our other podcast, the Kiki.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and also go onto our channels tab on this channel. There's a tab for channels, and you will see two other channels: the Sports Enthusiast League, where it's all about sports that aren't wrestling,
especially Louisiana-centric sports like
exactly.
LSU,
Saints, Pelicans, and the like.
And that's hosted by DJ.
Yes, and then sometimes we come in and do some things there.
Yeah.
And then also,
just don't look at their brackets.
Yeah, our brackets are destroyed now.
Yeah.
But the father channel to it all that helped get us all started is Skeleton Productions. It's a red skeleton, Skeleton Productions, 3 words, and that's where all the geeky stuff is. We have Anna Mondays, which will be returning in 2 weeks. We have a new podcast coming that we're going to figure out the right day for that, but it should be, depending on if we might be able to do that next Saturday.
Next Saturday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we might be able to. After that, Because if we don't stay for the whole thing, we might be able to do that, me and you, to do the first episode of that. It's going to be the Geeky Bones, or the Bare Bones Geeky Podcast, where we pick a topic, and it's a very broad topic.
Yeah.
And the week we talk about that topic, it's actually very much a centered topic. We focus on something more than just the broadness of it all. Like maybe one day we're talking about Star Wars, and we let you guys know, hey, next week Star Wars. You come back for that week, and the focus topic is about the Force. That gives us a week to do research on the Force outside of the canon, inside of the canon, everything that's been said, and come in and actually talk about our thoughts on it. And it'll be a lot of fun. And we're going to try to do that for about an hour of just being geeks, which we are. Our first episode...
It's surprising to tell because of all the talk of Game of Thrones we did and
yes,
Marvel DC.
Marvel DC.
That's why we need this other podcast.
If I know I've been covered up, but Spider-Man hoodie, have Ahmed the Dead Terrorist, even though it's not really geeky stuff, but his character is very geeky. But yeah, so it's going to tune into the Bare Bones Geeky Podcast on Skeleton Productions. It's going to be a lot of fun. So next Saturday, it's going to be the first episode, and it's going to be about us. And we'll be more specific and focused in what that means when the episode starts. Yeah, so that's all for today. Oh yeah, and next Friday, since we don't need to do a Friday we're gonna do our live stream. Mm-hmm. After the live stream, we're gonna do our predictions.
Okay.
After the predictions, we're gonna do a quick 30-minute thing called "What Do You Think?", where we just give our quick thoughts of what do we think about the pay-per-view that's gonna happen before, and it's not a predictions, it's just what we honestly think and feel. Mm-hmm. And we did it for Fastlane. It was our first ever episode, so we're gonna bring it back for WrestleMania, and it be like a so far pay-per-view centered show. And then of course the week after WrestleMania we'll have our Was It Worth It, which is our review show. And hopefully we'll be able to bring that back again for other things later on this year. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, okay.
Alright guys, until next time, it will be awesome.
Bye everybody.
It's been a lot of fun.